Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, Narb, here on The Epidemic, and welcome back to yet another episode of How to Forge. Pretty soon here, we'll actually be experiencing all of the wonderful joys that Forge has to offer in just a few days. And so that also means I can start doing some more informational types of videos pretty soon here as well. But in the meantime, I figured I'd end off this little Forge vacation of ours going over something that I'm sure most of you are a little bit concerned about. A couple videos back, I made a very short first impressions video about the December update that 343 had released. Pretty much all of it was based off my reaction and what I was thinking at that exact moment. But now that I can look back a little bit, I realize that we don't exactly have everything that I was hoping for. Now don't get me wrong, I'm still super excited for everything in this update, and I stand by everything that I said in that video. However, I had totally forgot that they did not mention anything about the one thing that I had been hoping for, and that of course is game types. What the heck is the deal about game types? The only thing we've seen that 343 has done so far is the weekend playlist, which only include one new game type for like 3 days. I love the idea of having exclusive content for weekends like double XP or something like that, but game types should not be considered exclusive content. My understanding of the thought process behind all of this is that 343 wants to pinpoint specific game types that people will actually play. That's why they have a voting system every time they consider a new playlist, and I would assume they do this because of bad server populations that they've noticed in the past. It's a fair idea, but I still completely disagree with it. The community wants to have options. We want to be able to bounce around to different game modes to keep things interesting. I can't tell you already how bored I am of the current playlist. I was really happy when Team Snipers was around, and Team Doubles was cool as well, but now it's gone and I can't play it anymore. So because of this, matchmaking becomes really repetitive, and I'm not even blaming the lack of maps. That wouldn't matter as much if we had more game modes to play them on. Things like Oddball, Assault, King of the Hill, Juggernaut, Infection, Stockpile, Headhunter, and even Race need to be incorporated into the game. And think, Forge will fully be released within a few days, but remember, the only thing that you can forge are Slayer maps. Maybe some mini games, but for the most part, Slayer will be the only primary thing that you can make. So what does that mean for people who don't forge competitive maps? Well, I guess it means you can't make anything else. I mean, you can make an infection map, but you're gonna have to wait until the game type is finally released if you want to play it. Having a very slim selection of game modes is not a good way to approach the launch of a Halo game. Truly, this doesn't make any sense at all to me, and I'm sure someone will try to give me an explanation to all of this, but honestly, I don't think it matters. This was a mistake, and it should be taken into consideration for future releases. I think 343 Studios has the ability to make very good games, but they just need to think a little more about their decisions. And we are not going to kiss up to them because we want to please them or something like that. A lot of other Halo groups might buy into that and just simply ignore these problems, but I actually care about Halo, and that's why I criticize it. I'm not going to praise something that has so many obvious mistakes. So if you're watching this and think that I'm being, maybe a little bit too hard, I'm really not. 343 wants to hear feedback, and that's what I'm trying to produce. I love Halo 5, and I think it could be a great game, but limiting the possibilities and lifespan of the community is obviously not good. 343 may not realize they're doing that, but they are. And look, I do not have any knowledge or ability to create a video game, but I do feel comfortable in saying that it really shouldn't be that hard to install a few game types into Halo 5. And that is where I'm gonna leave it. But anyways, that's just how I feel about this. Who knows, maybe we'll be surprised when Forge comes out and they'll all be available to us to at least forge with, but again, I don't want to sound like I hate 343. I really do hope that they will turn this thing around, and I believe that sharing feedback is a good way of helping. So what do you guys think? Do you agree? Do you hate me? I'd love to hear what you have to say down in the comments below. If you feel generous, feel free to leave a like and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be seeing you in the near future.